good body attacks, and he was mixing up. This was a good point where he just looked to hold on there, Culshaw.
Left himself wide open, didn't he, to that left hook, and he was definitely wanting to buy a bit of time after that.
Yes, I think he's just starting to get psychologically get to Culshaw. The corner's got to work on him hard and get him motivated again.
Lewis has landed some 36 punches more, according to the computer, up to this point in the contest. This is the 6th round, coming on towards the halfway point in this intriguing battle. We knew it would be for British and Commonwealth flyweight championships. Culshaw needs to find more from somewhere, you feel, at this point.
Yes, he's got to try and get a little bit of snap into his work, a bit of authority, and he's just not been allowed to do that. Bulled around the ring by the very strong Lewis.
The sense you get in there at the moment is that Lewis, bit by bit, inch by inch, is wearing Culshaw's resistance down. He may even force a late stoppage. Culshaw has shown here that he has the punch power, if he can find the punch, particularly with that right hand, to trouble Lewis. But can he somehow produce that weapon again? It begins to look increasingly doubtful, doesn't it?
It does at this point, where Lewis is having very good success here. You wonder also how much Culshaw is thinking about the distance, never having gone past the 8 rounds before. Is he just trying to pace himself up? Has he worried about the 12-round distance at all?
He punches again to head and body. He just seemed to be breathing heavily for a moment there, Culshaw. He's being forced backwards, having to fight in reverse, and not many fighters are good going backwards.
Culshaw doing well just to pick the jab off, take the punches on his gloves as he walks forward.
The pattern is now set. Lewis the hunter, Culshaw the hunted. And that means that Culshaw has to do some very classy work and be very smart strategically with his counter-punching.
Lewis throwing a lot of punches. It's going to be difficult for Culshaw to handle this sort of pressure.
Kind of walked onto the right hand there, Culshaw. He was rotating away from what he suspected might be a left hook. And Lewis caught him with the right on the way round. Well, it's going Ady Lewis's way at the moment. I wonder if that's how Barry McGuigan's seeing things as well.
Yeah, and I think it's certainly in Ady Lewis's favour at the moment. The worst thing that could have happened with Culshaw is that he knocked him down in the first round. He thought he could stand and fight with the kid, and the kid's very strong and robust, and on the inside he's been working him over, putting him back to the ropes, and unfortunately Culshaw hasn't used his elusive tactics enough. He needs to get back on the jab. He needs to keep the thing at long range and not stand around and allow little Ady Lewis to come on top of him. But this fight is still in the balance. Although Lewis is out ahead, anything can happen.
Thanks a lot, Barry. Action from that last round again, Glenn.
Yes, and again, the action is that of Lewis. He is the one who's scoring with the punches. He's the one that's got the rhythm, and he's just got Culshaw too much on the back foot. He's looking for counters, but he's not finding them.
So this fight originally scheduled for May, but postponed when Culshaw got a rib injury in sparring. They've at last got it on. But at the moment, Ady Lewis is looking the man who may become Commonwealth champion to add to his British title. I would think Ady Lewis at the moment must be pulling away a little on the scorecards.
Well, for me, I have him 3 rounds in the lead now, apart from the first round, which was obviously a big round for Culshaw. Everything else for me has been to Lewis.
Good body shot from culshaw. That's smarter from him. He's now trying to land punches and then get away.
Well, I think this is what we expected him to do right from the off. Use his boxing ability, get his punches off, and then not be there. Good movements, good boxing. But he just hasn't been allowed to do that.
Culshaw must be hoping that somehow Lewis just slows a little. A lot of stories have circulated within the trade about Lewis, not particularly for this fight, but generally as a flyweight, being a bit tight at the weight. He's come in half a pound under the 8-stone limit, but no signs at all of him looking weight drained here, is there?
Nothing, on the contrary. He looks very, very strong at the weight. Really forcing the fight, and he's really got Culshaw on the back foot. Culshaw's got to have a big moment. He's got to start throwing punches. He's falling a long way behind on points.
Just a bit less snap about some of Lewis's work in this round. For a few rounds now, culshaw has had the look of a fighter who's fading in the fight and is maybe just running out of ideas.
Yes, you think he needs to find a big punch from somewhere. He needs a good spell in the fight to get a little bit of confidence back. He's boxed a little better in this round, Culshaw. He's been given a little bit more space by Lewis, and he's started to get more punches on. I think he's done better than for a long time.
He might have shared that one.
Why worry about your diarrhea attack coming back? With just one dose of Imodium, you could stop diarrhea and get on with your day. Imodium.
Explosive legs, bone-snapping jaws, flesh-shredding teeth, all controlled by a brain incapable of remorse. The Lost World. Can you survive?
Well, this flyweight division has produced some great fighters in Britain down the years, going back to Jimmy Wilde, the ghost with a hammer in his hands, Rinty Monaghan. You think about more recently, Dave McCauley, Charlie Magri, Duke McKenzie, and so on and so forth. Had a feeling this would be a good fight tonight. And in that last round, Peter Culshaw in the green trunks, remember, did rather better than he's done for some time. How did you score that last one?
I give it to Culshaw. I just thought Lewis just dropped off the pace a little bit and he allowed Culshaw back into the fight. And there was some nice sharp counters from Culshaw. So I think I would give him that round. So whether to see if he can get a little bit more confidence from that and start to use his boxing with a little bit more sharpness.
Culshaw fighting on home territory on Merseyside.
Lewis beating Culshaw to the jab, and Culshaw looking to fall inside there and looking to try and hold Lewis.
Good body shot again, and left hook from Ady Lewis. Culshaw takes a deep breath and again engages reverse gear. He's trying to keep away. He's having to almost run a marathon to do it at times. A very hurtful looking body shot again. Is Lewis close to breaking Culshaw's resistance completely? These body shots are doing the job for him. Two to the head as well.
Lewis is starting to get to Culshaw now. He looks as if he's breaking down the defences. He looks a little bit distressed now, Culshaw.
Ady Lewis must sense that he might be close here. Culshaw is on the run.
Culshaw must be thinking, how on earth do I keep this man off?
Good right through the middle from Ady Lewis. And you begin to see why they call him Mighty Atom. There's no doubt about it, Ady Lewis has imposed his kind of fight onto Culshaw. Lewis looking a strong, solid, tough-to-beat operator. Two more left hands, a little nod of recognition from Culshaw, who may be close to going here. The referee, Mickey Van, is taking a close look. Lewis just lost his balance for a moment there. Two more shots, then another right, and Mickey Van wants to step in, and he stopped it in the 8th round, and Ady Lewis is Commonwealth champion as well as British champion now, and he has a Lonsdale belt to keep. Jack Doughty, his coach, embraces him. It's over for Peter Culshaw, and what a comeback by Ady Lewis, who looked so close to defeat after being floored for the first time in his life in the first round.
Well, he's so happy. It means a great deal for him now to have the Commonwealth Championship as well. It was a tremendous